What's up, guys? It's Jades Corner back here for a brand new Teen Wolf related video, and in today's video I'm going to be providing you guys my top 5 list for the top 5 strongest creatures in Teen Wolf. So if you guys are ready for today's video, let's hop into the top 5. So we're going to start with honorable mentions, just like my previous ranking videos I put out on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. So yeah, let's get into the honorable mentions. And at number 10, I'm gonna give it to the, oh, and by the way, I should mention that the honorable mentions is in no particular order, although you can order these in the order that you guys want to in the comments below, if you guys agree with the honorable mentions, of course. But if you don't, that's fine too. But at number 10 is gonna be the Werejaguar, so that's the creature that goes at number 10 for me. At number 9 is gonna be the Kitsune, so that's the creature that goes at number 9 for me. At number 8 is going to be the Wild Hunt or the Ghost Riders. That's going to go at number 8, or they're going to go at number 8 rather. At number 7 is going to be the Kanima. That creature is going to be at number 7. And just barely missing out on the top 5 strongest creatures in Teen Wolf, I'm going to have to give it to the Oni at number 6. So those are my honorable mentions. The 2 creatures that could have made the top 5, but I just think the top 5 creatures are stronger than these, like overall, were the Kanima and the Oni. Those were like the 2 closest to making the top 5, but they sadly missed out on my list. But if they make your list, that's cool. We can all talk about it in the comments below, obviously. But yeah, now that the honorable mentions are out the way, let's hop into the actual top 5 itself. So at number 5 for the strongest creature in Teen Wolf, I'm going to give it to the Berserkers from Teen Wolf Season 4. So yeah, the Berserkers who wear the skull face, who wear the skulls of bears for, you know, their mask and their face coverings. These things were damn near unstoppable in Season 4. They were literally running a train through everyone. Peter was terrified of these things. Like the first time we see one on screen fully, really, in Season 4 episode 2, Peter is like out of there. He's like, hell no, I'm gone. You two should run as well, to obviously Scott and Malia. And they just stand there like while Peter's already bolted out of there, and then the Berserker starts running them, of course. And then Scott's like, oh, we gotta get the hell out, of here. And then him and Malia get destroyed, of course. The only one that was even able to fully fight a Berserker off successfully and like kind of make them flee was Derek. And obviously Kate being the one who can control and create Berserkers, of course. But yeah, to be honest, these things were just a powerhouse. They were like Ethan and Aiden in their merge form on steroids, and they, even at the end of the season, they were still struggling to deal with these things. And the only way you can kill them is by breaking their mask. And that's what Derek was able to do once he became an evolved werewolf, and he was strong enough to, you know, kill one in like 4 seconds. And then Scott McCall, of course, broke through his Berserker mask when Kate placed him under her control as a Berserker for a little while. So yeah, Berserkers at number 5, definitely underrated. I don't think the Berserkers nearly get talked about enough in terms of the strongest creatures in the series. So yeah, I think the Berserkers respectfully go at number 5, for me at least. At number 4, I'm going to give it to the Hellhound. Now, a couple of you guys may be like, why the hell isn't the Hellhound higher on this list? That's because of the number 3 spot and what we saw on screen and the absolute embarrassment that was what this particular character did to this specific Hellhound. But yeah, Hellhounds are no joke. Parrish and Howen were really overpowered. Hellhound Parrish at the time when he was first introduced, like fully as the Hellhound in Season 5, was arguably the 2nd strongest creature in the series. At least I was still living at that point in time, minus the Beast. And we all know how dangerous Hellhound Parrish is. We all know how powerful he is. He ran through Theo's entire Chimera pack like they were a hot knife through cheese. Like, bro, it was an embarrassment for that entire pack. Scott McCall has never even dared to fight one. Liam Dunbar did, but he fought a weakened Hellhound, so I wouldn't really call that a fair fight since Howen was weakened from fighting Parrish. But neither here nor there. Hellhounds definitely go at number 4, although you can make an argument that they should at least be top 3 or top 2 at the very least. But I think once you hear me talk about number 3 and number 2, you'll understand why I put the Hellhounds at number 4 on my list. So at number 3, I'm going to give it to the Lowenmensch, the werewolf-lion hybrid from Teen Wolf Season 6. Of course, Garrett Douglas. I'm going to do a whole video explaining the origin of how the Lowenmensch even became a thing in Teen Wolf, because if you were a fan of the series back in the day, during the season 6 era of the show in like early 2016 to like late 2017, you would know that Douglas was always intended to be a werewolf at first. Like during all the promotion and all the interviews Jeff Davis did, he always referred to Douglas as a werewolf. But there was something that happened during the script writing for Teen Wolf Season 6 Part 1, in where one of the other writers, he writes for the CW Flash right now, Eric or Will, I think it was either Eric Wallace or Will Wallace, but it was one of Jeff Davis's writing partners on his writing team for Teen Wolf. He pretty much did his own research, was looking up other new creatures to add to the show, found out about the Lowenmensch statue from Germany, and then brought it up to Jeff Davis, and Jeff was like, oh, okay, that's a cool idea, you can add that to the show. It sounds cool enough to me. So that's pretty much how the Lowenmensch came to be. I'll make a whole video explaining the origins of that. But here, Lowenmensch for me goes at number 3, particularly because of this one specific hacks ability it has, which has the potential to be honestly the most broken ability any creature has in Teen Wolf. So, as you guys know, throughout Season 6 Part 1, Douglas was eating the pineal glands of supernaturals and humans alike to regain his power and strength. And when he ate the pineal gland of the Ghost Rider he killed, and mind you, he was the only character to kill a Ghost Rider through brute strength by himself, and even that scene should put him in the top 5, if not top 10 strongest creatures alone, because Scott McCall was getting bodied literally in the same episode and the episode prior and after, I'm pretty sure, by the Wild Hunt. And the fact that Douglas was able to take that thing out while just being a regular alpha was ridiculous. But yeah, when he ate that Ghost Rider's pineal gland and then started using all the powers, or at least most of them, from the Wild Hunt, that confirmed to me back in the day and even now that Douglas is a top 3 strongest creature in the whole show. There's no arguments about that. Because if he's able to eat the pineal glands of a Ghost Rider, right, gain its powers and abilities, it being able to use its weapons, the whip can erase people from existence like he did with Scott's mom, Chris Argent, and Sheriff Stilinski. Bro, man, I'm telling you, bro. Can you imagine if he ate the pineal gland of like the Beast or some shit and got his powers? Bro, the Lowenmensch has the most potential to be the strongest creature in the entire verse, and that's what bro, the Lowenmensch is crazy. Goes at number 3. And number 2 is gonna be, oh, and also before I even get to number 2, so let's get into why I put the Lowenmensch above the Hellhound, right? I put the Lowenmensch above the Hellhound because Douglas, also when he got the powers of the Wild Hunt, when he ate the pineal gland of that Ghost Rider, was able to fully take control of Hellhounds on some Winter Soldier MCU Hydra saying the little keywords to control Bucky shit, bro. Like, all Douglas had to do was say like a couple of lines and boom, Paris was under his control until they fully stopped Douglas. Douglas literally turned one of the strongest characters in Teen Wolf into his little bitch, his little servant, by just saying a few words. If that's not overpowered, I don't know what is. The fact that he had a Hellhound as his pet slave was ridiculous. So it is one of the most disrespectful moments in all of Teen Wolf. So yeah, Lowenmensch number 3. Number 2 is gonna be werewolves. And I put werewolves at number 2 solely because this species produced the strongest character we have seen in the show, minus number 1. And that is the Beast of Gévaudan, who has been confirmed in numerous interviews and numerous times over the years by Jeff Davis to be the undisputed strongest werewolf in the entire series. If the series itself didn't already indicate to you that the Beast is the strongest werewolf without question, and there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. So yeah, because this species produced something like the Beast, we gotta give werewolves number 2. And you all know how dangerous the Beast was. An absolute powerhouse of a monster. So yeah, number 2, werewolves, solely because they produced the Beast. If the Beast wasn't a thing, werewolves wouldn't even be in the top 5 strongest creatures, let's be honest. The Kanima would probably be in the top 5 over werewolves, if you ask me. So at number 1, I'm gonna have to give it to the Nogetsune Void Styles, the Beacon Hills Nogetsune, the other Nogetsune in general, just an absolute ridiculous creature. And the fact that Jeff Davis is giving it new powers in Teen Wolf the movie is absurd. It can like use the Force now and can use telekinesis to like bring people over to him, and he wasn't able to do that in the series at all. The Nogetsune can also use instant it seems like use instant transmission from Dragon Ball Z, if you ask me. Can teleport to wherever it wants in an instant. It was able to teleport from, I think, the school to the basement of Eichen House within seconds. So yeah, can teleport, can use illusions to trick people, can possess other people along with its primary host. And now it has control of summoning Oni after destroying the rest of Noshiko's Kitsune tails. And yeah, it can now also, apparently as of Teen Wolf the movie, use some sort of version of Vegeta's Force Spirit Vision from Dragon Ball Super, where it can literally rip the Foxfire out of a Kitsune and steal a Kitsune's Foxfire, which is absolutely insane to say the least. So yeah, it's safe to say that the Nogetsune without question is the strongest creature in Teen Wolf. Don't think anybody's gonna have a problem with that. So yeah, that's my top 5 strongest creatures in Teen Wolf list. If you guys enjoyed this list, make sure you leave a like. Also, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. And when you do, hit that bell icon so that you never miss a future upload from me. And I'm Jade, going to get out of here right now. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next Teen Wolf related video. Deuces.